Hey guys, it's Rush. Today we're going to be taking a look at what to do when you've lost all your HP 2 minutes in. So for this replay, we're on the map Fisherman's Bay. It's a standard battle, of course, and it's an all-tier 8 game, and I'm in my Scorpion G. So on this map, what I like to do, really regardless of my tank type, as long as I have mobility, is I like to come up to the corner of this house right here, basically where this ELC even 90 is. What that lets you do is it lets you shoot at heavies who are driving into position, because as you'll see, people like this T-34, AMX, M449, and the low basically cross an open field to get into the cities. So if I'm in a mobile vehicle, I really like to take advantage of that and come, right to this location. So that's what I've done. I've come to get early shots on heavies who are crossing into position, and normally that works out really well. Now, what's going to happen here is I'm going to stick around for a bit too long, maybe about 10 seconds or so, and I get spotted by a Karn, and so I'm going to back up, and that's going to be the opening for Artie to shoot at me. So an SU-14-2 hits me immediately after the Karn hit me for 241, so I'm down to 605 HP, and the second I repair my tracks, I get clicked by another Artie for 490 by the GW Tiger P. And so it's like at this point I have 100 HP, I'm a one-shot to every single tier 10 on their team, and I was basically ready to exit the battle and just go back to garage at this point, because to me it was like, I've lost all my HP, fuck this shit, I'm done, game over, noob team, and so on and so forth. So luckily, I decided not to do that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to run away. So the situation that you find yourself in when you've lost HP generally is that Artie will focus you down really, really hard, especially if you've got, high stats or whatever. And why that is, I guess it's just because Artie wants to get kills. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run away. This is the right thing to do. This is what you should do. If you're in any position where you've become a one-shot, fall back. Make sure you're becoming a support tank, because you can't play the front lines anymore. So that's exactly what I've done. I've come back to a popular TD position. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to figure out how I can still be useful despite the fact that I've got only 100 HP and one mistake will basically get me killed. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to support the low, the Tiger, and the T-32 who are on the one line. That's obviously going to be a lot easier than trying to play the 9-0 because, I just got wrecked over there and they've got a lot of tanks. So from here, I can play a bit like a TD, not get spotted, and try to get shots on people. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. Now, you'll notice I'm kind of pushing up in steps. So the first thing was to try to get shots from B2. Now, that didn't happen, right? So the next thing I moved up to about where this WZ-120 was. Again, didn't get shots. And if you take a look at the map, it's like I have to start moving up despite the fact that I'm a one-shot, despite the fact that I'm in a TD, because basic counting skills imply that we're going to lose the city. So if you look at the map right here, we've got a 5100, a 34, and they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, roughly 6 tanks against now it's just a 5100 and a clicker. So we're going to obviously lose the city. What I need to do is I need to win the one line before that happens, despite the fact that I'm a one-shot, despite the fact that I'm in a TD. If we're not able to win the one line, we're going to lose this game because they'll come at us from two directions, and that's not very good. So that's what I'm working on right here. It's huge risk. There's a lot of risk involved with this type of play, but it's kind of mandatory because if we don't do it, we're going to lose. So Scorpion spots me. I put a shot into him. I'm going to fall back, so hopefully I don't get clicked. And the beautiful thing about the position that I found is that I'm going to get unspotted and spotted very, very frequently. So the chances that Artie are going to just be focusing me down when they've got a low, a T-32, a Tiger, a 34-3, and so on to shoot at, like, it's low that the chances that they're gonna focus me down are low. There we go. I'm bad at speaking, but we're just gonna play this position. I see the T-34. I'd rather shoot at a T-34 than a full H, a moving T-92, but I didn't get the shot on him, so I shoot the unaimed shot at the T-92, get lucky and get the kill. And it's kind of at this point where I'm gonna have to start running back to base, because if you check the map, they've got, you could presume, 5 tanks pushing through. So the fact that I get spotted here is the catalyst for me deciding to go back to base. I don't want to risk getting clicked because I've been lit more a couple times right here. It's not worth it. Like, to me, it's not going to happen. And we also have to defend the base. So what's happened here is a lot of people will get stuck up on winning the side that they're playing. If you take a look at this, it's like you could kind of maybe presume that these guys will win the one line, or at least hold off long enough to buy me time so I can defend the base. That's exactly what's going to happen, by the way. It's like we're not going to win the 2 line. A lot of these tanks are going to stay alive, but the low, the T-34-3, the Tiger 2, and the T-32 are going to just survive long enough such that I don't have to worry about getting flanked from the 2 line while I'm rotating back to base to deal with the Panther, the Karn, the low, and the AMX M449. So These guys are going to push into their base, and I don't have to worry about getting flanked, basically because of the fact that I helped to win the 2 line, and then the team are going to do a good job and just survive over there. So that's what's happening. Now, what I like to do when enemies are pushing in like this, if you're in a mobile vehicle, it's very easy. Basically, what's going to happen is these players are only going to assume that there's tanks up here to shoot at them. And for the most part, that's correct, right? Like, all we have in the middle is an ELC even 90, and that thing's relatively useless. And so what I'd have is I have flanking shots on the side of these heavies who don't know I'm here, you know, and that's going to give our team a huge advantage because now I've got this 490 alpha gun, or how much alpha do I have? Yeah, it's 490, and I'm able to put side shots into heavies who don't know I exist, and that's really great. So what I've done is I've positioned myself in the middle of the map. So when you position yourself in the middle of the map, that lets you support in multiple flanks, and you'll see if, you know, if this side came in trouble, I could just kind of turn my turret and go support them. So that's why I'm here. It gives me great shots on anyone who's pushing into our base, and then if I need to, I can also help out the 1-2 line, which, you know, is it's gonna have to happen because we're down 4 tanks at this point. So UDES gets spotted in the middle. I'm okay staying here for the most part because I've got this ELC even 90 who's like spotting the UDES for me. The T-34 gets lit. I'm going to try to put a shot into him. Again, that's just me abusing the middle. And because this ELC even 90 is falling back, and like, you know, this isn't a criticism of him, but this is how you have to play to your teammates. This guy's fallen back. They've got a UDES in front of me. The UDES can one-shot me. The UDES can spot me. And if I got spotted in this location, I'd pretty much be dead because, you know, I'm in the middle of the map. Everyone can shoot at me just like I can shoot at everyone. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fall back to this house right here. That's going to hopefully keep me safe from the UDES. Hopefully he won't spot me through the house. And that's why I'm in this position. Now, all of a sudden the Panther 88 gets lit. And so keeping in line with the way I don't want to get spotted, I don't even poke on the Panther because he was at a range where he could spot me if I poked on him. And now there's this AMX M449 who doesn't know where I am, who's just kind of sitting in the open. And because I remained unlit, I was able to put a shot for 474 into that guy, and that's like huge because now he's a one-shot. Artie can click him, and, you know, we might be able to completely eradicate anyone who is pushing into our base. That's going to be huge for our team. So I fall back. It was basically what I was playing off how the ELC even was. He wasn't really. I was worried that the UDES would be able to skirt around and YOLO me or spot me or something to that effect. So what I did is I fell back. The ELC even 90 killed the UDES, and that frees up the middle a lot more for me because, you know, and I don't have this UDES who's in the middle who could be spotting me. So that's what's going to happen. Now you're going to see the way I take advantage of the middle is I want to, basically the same way I defended the base. It's like I'm in this position, no one knows I'm here, so I can sort of position myself to put side shots into them, and if that doesn't get me killed, that's great because, you know, I'm a one-shot right here. So what I see happening is they've got roughly 4 tanks, maybe 5, but probably not because the Ag Tiger hasn't been lit for a very long time. They've got roughly 4 tanks, and we only have a low and a T-34-3 defending against that. Now, the ELC even 90 basically goes and spots Artie, which is great. In a situation like this, if you get the opportunity to kill Artie, you really want to because Artie absolutely carries your team. So I go for the shot on the clicker, and this one misses. And I think I'm just not, you know, he keeps backing up, so I'm not going to get a shot into him. Now, what I see happening here is, like, we've got this one-shot low, and they've got a 2-shot T-34. He's a 2-shot for the low and a 2-shot for myself. And then there's this T-69 who's just kind of sitting here. So I take a blind shot. It literally goes where I wasn't aiming, but I still killed the 69, which is great. And now it's like the scores are tied, but we do have this one-shot low who's got a full, a 2-shot T-34 in front of him. So how do I describe this? Basically, this low is asking for help. He's obviously in a high-risk situation because there's Artie and there's this T-34 in front of him. What I would want to do in this situation, if I could teleport, I would be right here at H1 where the 34-3 is. Because if I was there, I could literally directly support this low. And what that would mean is if the T-34 YOLO'd the low and went down here, I would have shots into the T-34 as you know, as he YOLO'd. I'm unable to teleport though, so I have to play this position. It's the best one that's available to me. And I'm just going to look for shots in this 34, and eventually he's going to rush into the low, which sucks. But I'm going to be able to put a shot into him. The low doesn't get a shot into him, but at least this guy's now a one-shot, so hopefully that T-34-3 can pick up the kill, you know, or someone else can. So the T-34-3 does pick up the kill. They've now got this Scorpion and the Ag Tiger 8.8 fell all the way back to base. And so now, again, just by positioning myself in the middle of the map, we're in this very dominating position. Anyone who's camping, I'll have shots on. I also have shots in the Scorpion G if he makes a mistake. So, more or less it's perfect because they don't know where I am. And I've got this 490 high DPM, high accuracy gun. So I'm going to sit here and waiting for shots on the Scorpion. Suddenly the Yag Tiger decides to stop camping. The Scorpion dies. And now we're just going to kind of farm damage off this Yag Tiger. At this point in time, the game is won. So we put one shot into him. He goes dark, if I recall. Yeah, he goes dark. We put another shot into him. Now he's got 8 HP. And I think we're going to snag the 4th kill right here. Already tracks him, and there. That's my last kill, and that's the game. So let's go take a look at the end plates, and we'll go from there. Alright, so that was 114k credits, 3557 XP, high caliber master badge 2nd class, 5211 damage. The AMX ELC also carried with me, so he did 3k, which given the tank is pretty amazing. He ended up getting 1500 base XP, so he beat me there, and I only did 1129 base. So brilliant game by this guy. It was a pleasure playing with him. In the end, I profited 76k because gold, mostly. That's where all my credits went. And yeah, I hope this video was helpful. If you want to see more, be sure to hit the like and the subscribe button. And I hope to see you around. Later, guys. Bye.